Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and today I'm gonna make a double Dutch door card. I made one for the Not Too Shabby Shop YouTube channel earlier this month, but I thought I would do a different method where you don't need to start with such a large piece of cardstock. So this first piece here I've cut to 4 1/4 wide by 8 3/4 of an inch tall, and I've trimmed that, or I've scored that at 5 1/2. And with the piece remaining, I've trimmed that piece, which should be 2 1/4 tall already. And I just trimmed it so that it's 2 1/2 wide, and then I scored a 3/8 of an inch glue tab, and I made a second one exactly the same dimensions. So you'll end up with a piece that measures 2 1/4 tall by 5 1/2 wide, and you want to score on one side along that 2 1/2 inch edge at 3/8 of an inch, and that gives you a 3/8 inch glue tab, which I then just mitered the corners of so that I can get a nice and neat finish when I glue this to my card base. And because this is my card base, I am using a nice heavyweight cardstock. This actually is 120 pounds. And I'm just going to take each of these glue tabs, they're going to be my bottom 2 gates. And I'm going to glue them on the left and right edge, making sure that it's flush at the bottom, and they should meet up in the center. So when this is glued down, your 2 gates will measure 2 1/8 wide by 2 1/4 tall. And from there, you can just cut down your mats and layers. And today I'm using the little ladybugs paper pad that actually comes in the March 2023 Not Too Shabby Shop Box of the Month, as well as this stamp set, which is, I think spring has changed, so it's one of the 3 stamp sets that we get in the Box of the Month. And I'm actually bringing in some papers from some previous releases. And so definitely kind of shop your stash a little bit if you're looking for papers to coordinate. And if you're not getting the look that you want, maybe just see what else is in your stash. What I was looking for was something a little bit solid, a pattern that's more or less monochromatic, and I found this really lovely green pattern. Still nice and bright, goes really well with everything that's in the Little Ladybugs paper collection, but it's got that more solid feel to it, which is what I was going for. And that, I think, came from the So Refreshing paper pad, which was, I think, it was a Box of the Month. And then this small little floral pattern I really love as well. And I was looking for a pattern or a print that was, I didn't want red because I wanted the red that's in my stamped and colored image, which you can see there with the mushroom and the gnome. I wanted the red that's in that design to really pop. And so I didn't want any red in the various background papers that I'm choosing for my card front here. And so that's why I went with this really nice, it's a nice small ditty pattern of yellow flowers, which works really well because the gnome is holding a flower, and as well I've stamped and colored a flower that's actually from one of the other 2 stamp sets that I'm not showing on screen at the moment. So you get a lot in the Not Too Shabby Shop Box of the Month. We get 2 full 6x6 paper pads, coordinating ephemera to go with each of them, 3 4x6 stamp sets, which is amazing, and then some embellishment as well. So pretty phenomenal value for money. And so here I've got a set of, well, one is a scallop circle, and then nested inside is just a plain circle. You can use any shape you like. I like the circle because I think it kind of hangs really well off the bottom of that top flap, and then with the scalloped edge, it actually kind of rests on top of the bottom two Dutch doors really nicely as well. So I added a little bit of 3D glue behind my flowers just to, I like the look of it kind of wrapping around and partially behind the circle, but then, you know, towards the flower end, the top end, it's partially on top. And so that's why parts of that flower I've stuck down directly to the card base, and then parts are a little bit lifted with that 3D glue gel. And with a little bit of low profile foam behind my gnome, just to set them apart from the nested circles. It gives it just a little bit of subtle dimension, which I love. And then I'll go ahead and stamp out one of the sentiments that comes in this stamp set. And I think it reads, there's no one like you, which I love. And the die set that I'm using for the banners, I think it's another set of it's a CC Designs banner die set. And so you can see I used the largest banner to die cut from this piece of white scrap paper. But here I'm using the smallest one that comes in that set. If I can still find it, I'll try to do that. I'll try to find it and link to it in the description box below, along with everything else. At the time of this filming, I don't know if the Not Too Shabby Shop March box of the month is still available. There are months where it sells out within hours, and then there are months where maybe Jamie has ordered some extra inventory, and so it lasts a little bit longer. So really hard to predict these things. Hopefully, this video is coming a little late in the month, but hopefully it is still available. But in any case, I'll be sure to leave links to all of the subscription clubs from the Not Too Shabby Shop. So if you want to check out the description box, that's where you can find all of that information. And this adorable little heart is also from that same CC Designs die set, and I just die cut it from some of the pattern paper that is in the Little Ladybugs paper pad, and I wanted a couple more accent spots of red. So just to kind of work in that rule of 3, I've got yellow flowers in the background of the top flap. The gnome is holding a yellow flower, and then I attach that yellow flower to the right of the circle. And then I want to kind of form a little triangle of red. So I've got the red that's in the focal image, which I really just consider one spot of red because they're grouped together. And I've got a little splash of red with that little bit of that little heart. Because red is such a strong color, I feel like, to my eyes anyways, my eyes are very attracted to seeing that red. So by putting little bits of red accents around your card, it does help the person looking at your card just kind of have their eyes scan from each of the red spots. And so that's why I added a bit of red to my accent, so that my banner, so that as your eye scans the card going from, one red spot to another, you're going to pick up, the focal image, the sentiment, and then just that little ladybug accent, which I just fussy cut out of one of the pattern papers. Actually, I think I fussy cut that from the other paper pad that you get in the box of the month. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you found this method of doing the double Dutch door a little bit different. If you didn't already see my earlier version. I'll link to that video in the description box as well, just in case you want to see a different way of creating a double Dutch door out of a single piece of cardstock instead of having two hinges at that bottom flap. It does generate a little bit more scraps, but if you don't like the look of the hinges, which I think in this case they get covered up by that pattern paper anyhow, so I don't mind it. And plus, this method produces less scrap. So I'm always a fan of that. But let me know which method is your favorite in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye.